Hi there, Stephanie here. I want to tell you about one of my favorite all-time assessments, and that is Nonsense Word Fluency. I especially like the Nonsense Word Fluency Assessment from Acadience Reading because it allows you to really get to the heart of, does the student have letter sound correspondence, and can they automatically blend words together, blend those letter sounds together to recode and form words. Really, really critical skill, especially in kindergarten and through first grade. I really like Nonsense Word Fluency because it allows teachers to strip away some of the vestiges of balanced literacy. If you are relying on pictures, if you are looking at the first letter and guessing, you are not going to do very well on Nonsense Word Fluency. This is the reason non-words are used instead of real words. You can't get by from having memorized some words as wholes or memorize them by sight. You can only do well on Nonsense Word Fluency if you really truly own that letter sound relationship and have the ability to blend letter sounds together. So here's why I think Nonsense Word Fluency is such a value to every classroom teacher. Nonsense Word Fluency is like a keystone skill. If students do well on Nonsense Word Fluency, it means they're probably ready to learn more advanced patterns beyond CVC. And if they don't do well on Nonsense Word Fluency, it probably means you might want to investigate their phonemic awareness. So it acts as sort of a gate, a way of telling you which direction should you go with a student. So here's the way I recommend that teachers use this really valuable assessment tool. Make sure that you are not only looking at the score, but you are looking at the behaviors that got the student to the score. So this means opening up the booklet if you are scoring on paper, pulling up those probe details if you're scoring on a mobile device, and looking for these patterns. Here's the sort of progression of skills that you should watch for a student of any age on Nonsense Word Fluency. First, you are likely to see very, very young students or students who are struggling who are just able to identify individual sounds for letters. And you're going to see the pattern of individual underlines under each letter on the scoring form. That's kind of the starting place. Accurately matching sound to symbol. The next step in the sequence would be students who are able to go sound by sound and then recode the word or blend those letter sounds together into a non-word. And that's a valuable next step on the progression, but it's not the ultimate place we want students to get to. What you really want to see on that form is that the student looked at the word and read it accurately and instantly as a word without having to go sound by sound first. That's what you want to look for. And instruction can match that sequence from the very, very beginning of kindergarten. We don't have to wait for students to know all 26 letter names or for them to know the sounds that go with each of those letters. We can teach in a purposeful sequence from the beginning of kindergarten so students learn this is A, it represents A, this is T, it represents T. I can blend those together. At. I can read and write that word. And if we start there and add letter sound correspondences to that over time, students will become skilled readers and writers. What teachers often misunderstand about Nonsense Word Fluency Assessment is we aren't supposed to teach with nonsense words. We're only assessing with non-words so that we can really find out, does the student own that letter sound relationship? Can they blend letter sounds together to read words? Do they really own that alphabetic principle understanding? Just because we're measuring with nonsense words doesn't mean that we should teach nonsense words. Our instruction should be using real words so we take advantage of the connection not just between the sounds and the letters, but also with the meaning. We're building that three-way connection, that reading network in children's brains. Nonsense Word Fluency gives you a little window into where is the student on that progression, that pathway to become a reader.